Blueface has inserted himself into the conversation once again, but this time, fans say they never expected the direction he'd take. After days of jokes, memes, and harsh commentaries circulating about Cardi B's body, Blueface suddenly jumped online with a very pointed defense that caught the entire timeline off guard. According to fans who claim they saw the livestream in real time, he addressed the ongoing BBL smell discourse that has resurfaced on social media, pushing back hard and calling it nothing but jealousy. What had been circulating as messy commentary took an immediate turn when he argued that people only repeat those rumors because, in his words, they ain't close enough to work with her anyway. As the clip spread across X and Instagram, users alleged that he wasn't just defending Cardi, but also shading other artists who've kept quiet while she's been trending for all the wrong reasons. The tone of the livestream was casual, but the message landed with the force of a direct shot at unnamed industry peers. People who followed his recent behavior say he's been leaning into unpredictable commentary, yet this was one of the rare moments where he sounded sincere and almost protective. For someone known for stirring chaos, the way he spoke about Cardi as actually a nice person felt unusually grounded. Viewers began dissecting every moment of the video, and many pointed out that Blueface's tone shifted as he went on. They claimed he sounded defensive on Cardi's behalf, almost frustrated that the internet keeps recycling the same jokes about her. The more he talked, the more it became clear he wasn't just addressing trolls, he was addressing the entertainment industry culture itself. Some fans believe this was his way of aligning himself with Cardi's camp, even if temporarily, given his own complicated relationship with public perception. Meanwhile, Cardi herself had not directly responded to his statements, which created another wave of speculation. Supporters argued that she probably appreciated the gesture quietly, while others felt she might not want to be associated with Blueface's brand of commentary. The rumor mill churned as people tried to decode her silence. Some users resurfaced previous interviews where she talked about ignoring negativity to preserve her peace, suggesting that she might simply be choosing to let this one pass without acknowledgement. That silence didn't prevent the conversation from gaining momentum. Within hours, aggregator pages were reposting edited clips, often trimmed to make Blueface sound even more dramatic than he originally was. This amplified the narrative that he had come to Cardi's rescue, even though the phrasing was purely fan-made. Still, it shaped how thousands of viewers interpreted the situation. People began commenting that it was rare to see someone in the rap world openly defend a female artist without angling for clout, or at least not obviously doing so. The most intriguing part was how he pushed back on what he called the smell comments, which he insisted were rooted in envy rather than truth. He argued, according to those who watch live, that people say things like that because they're never going to get the opportunity to collaborate with Cardi. It was a bold framing, and reactions were mixed. Some agreed, saying that misogynistic jokes about women's bodies have always spread easily online. Others questioned why Blueface positioned himself as someone qualified to shut down the rumors, leading to a different debate entirely about proximity, respect, and credibility. As the conversation unfolded, more users began pointing out that this wasn't the first time Blueface had inserted himself into a female artist's controversy. Historically, his commentary has sparked tension, confusion, or chaos, so people were unsure how to interpret a moment where he seemed to be acting out of respect. Some fans theorized that he could be trying to pivot his image or soften his public persona after months of headline-generating drama. Others believed the livestream was simply Blueface being spontaneous, emotionally honest, and unfiltered in the way he always is. Regardless of the motive, his comments quickly overshadowed the original discourse. Memes quieted down, replaced by clips of Blueface passionately explaining why Cardi's name gets dragged so often and why people spread narratives he claims are fueled by envy. Online commentators began discussing how male rappers rarely speak out against body shaming when it targets a woman in their industry. That alone gave his comments unexpected weight. It shifted the story from a joke to a broader conversation about respectability and the cost of visibility for women in hip-hop. As the debate intensified, accounts on X started posting alleged behind-the-scenes theories. One claimed that Blueface and Cardi had a mutual acquaintance who encouraged him to step in. Another claimed it was simply timing. He happened to be watching the trending topics and decided to jump in. With no confirmation from either side, the theories spiraled into speculation, and the audience couldn't tell whether this moment was organic or orchestrated. But the turning point came late in the evening when an entertainment blog posted a headline suggesting that Blueface's defense was more personal than people realized, without offering any detail. The headline alone set off a fresh wave of comments. Users demanded clarity. Was there more contacts? Was there a private interaction between the two? Or was this just another case of click-driven framing? Nobody seemed to have the full picture yet, but what emerged next would push the story into entirely new territory. And then, just when the internet thought Blueface's remarks had reached their peak, a new claim surfaced overnight, one that hinted the defense may not have been as spontaneous as it appeared. Blueface's comments didn't stay contained to one livestream. By the next morning, entire fan bases were clashing under aggregated reposts, arguing over whether he was defending Cardi out of genuine respect or simply chasing viral smoke again. Some users posted clips claiming there was more to the story, alleging he'd been hinting for months that Cardi was one of the only big-name rappers who treated him like a human being behind the scenes. That narrative pushed the conversation in a new direction because suddenly people weren't even talking about the rumor anymore. They were dissecting the environment that made the rumor believable in the first place. Meanwhile, insiders claimed Offset wasn't pleased at all. Though he said nothing publicly, fans pointed out that he quietly liked and unliked a series of tweets shading Blueface for talking too much. Screenshots were flying everywhere, and while nothing was confirmed, the pattern added fuel to speculation that the two men had been avoiding each other for months due to tension behind the scenes. That only made Blueface's defense of Cardi look even more intentional, because he wasn't siding with her husband, he was siding with her directly. Cardi herself kept unusually quiet, posting only a single vague message that read, "People be loud when they're broke, silent when they know the truth." Fans immediately tied it to the situation, arguing whether she was thanking Blueface or warning him not to drag the situation further. Some commentators believe she was simply exhausted from constantly being the target of online insults, especially ones rooted in body shaming and fabricated narratives about her appearance. That's when an unexpected twist hit the timeline. A beauty industry professional posted a now viral thread breaking down how BBL rumors often get weaponized against female celebrities, claiming that Cardi had become a case study in targeted defamation. They didn't name any insiders, but they laid out how smear campaigns online can snowball into accepted truth simply through repetition. Blueface reposted that thread with a caption calling it facts, intensifying the online divide. Then came a second stream from Blueface, where he doubled down, but this time with a completely different tone. This time he wasn't laughing or trolling. He said he'd seen people switch up on Cardi in rooms she wasn't even in, and that people loved using her name for clicks because Cardi makes anything go viral. He didn't go into detail, but fans immediately filled in the blanks, claiming he must have been referring to producers, managers, or other artists who allegedly speak negatively about her while pretending to collaborate. This triggered a wave of speculative videos claiming a bigger industry plot existed to push Cardi out of the spotlight. Again, none of this was confirmed, but the conversation was snowballing fast. People began stitching old interviews, comments, and red carpet clips, trying to prove there was a pattern of quiet disrespect toward Cardi behind the scenes. Blueface's sudden loyalty was being framed as the first time an artist had publicly confronted that energy. Offset's silence became even louder. Commentators wondered if he was avoiding adding oxygen to the fire, or if he was frustrated that Blueface, someone he had no close relationship with, was becoming the unexpected face of Cardi's defense. Rumors suggested that Cardi and Offset had argued privately about how the situation was being handled, especially because she didn't want to look like she couldn't control her own narrative. With the noise getting louder, several female rappers chimed in subtly. One posted a cryptic message about men who only defend women when there's a camera on them, while another said, "Not every cosign is a compliment." Fans immediately assumed these were directed at Blueface, claiming his defense might not be as pure as people believed. Debates erupted about whether he was exploiting Cardi's situation for relevance or genuinely trying to clear her name. But the biggest turning point came late in the evening when someone leaked a short clip allegedly showing Blueface telling someone off camera, "Y'all talk about her body, but never her hustle." Though the source of the clip was unknown, its tone was raw and serious, nothing like his usual chaotic persona. This prompted a wave of empathy for Cardi across social media. People began recalling past interviews where she spoke about insecurities, pressure from labels, and the need to constantly defend her character.